also got the third eye segment. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You already know what time it is.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
We doing 8, 9 grams? How many we doing?
We can go there. We can go there.
Just so you know. Grams of sugar.
on my journey of this learned information, this man was there from like day one. You know what I'm saying? So like these is conversations, all the conversations that I've done had up here, Third Eye Segment, me and him have had these conversations in 2011,
yes, sir.
2012.
In multiple dimensions.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, so boom, can you, from your perspective,
yes, sir,
tell me your introduction to like knowledge and like third eye.
You know where we was at. You know where we was at.
From your perspective.
All right, man. Where do I even start, bruh?
Hey, hey, hey. Okay. Out to the pay, for the grass is always greener. I don't do no labels, I call it how I see it. Okay, out to the pay, for the grass is always greener. I don't do no labels, I call it how I see it.
What does the future look like for your podcast?
Yo, welcome back to another episode of No Label the Pod, season 7. Man, we appreciate all the support, all the love, all the likes, shares, follows, and it means a lot to us. If you get a chance to go over to NoLabelMediaCo.com, sign up for that newsletter, keep up with everything No Label the Pod, everything No Label Media. Man, support goes further than you know. Today we sitting with the staple in the Buffalo hip hop scene. You know what I'm saying? We've been at this for a long time, man. It's honestly a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? You sit down with my brother. You know what I'm saying? We go back. Shit, before rap. When darkness spread.
When it was black.
Man.
When the face of God was on the deep nigga.
But, you know, man, we gonna be cracking a lot of jokes, man. This shit crazy. I'm here with the man himself. I am JC. What's goody?
What's up, brother, man? Appreciate you for having me.
You already know.
What's up, world? JC. I am JC. It's really me, JC. It's just I am JC. Real. It's not the other. It's me, JC.
Come on.
Honored to be here. Shout out to Nell. Shout out to Dante. No Label. Staple in the community. It's a beautiful introduction bro just gave me. But that's a reflection of what they got going on. Because it takes one to see what takes one to know. Or what they say.
Yeah, you know.
It's a pleasure to be here, man. Thank y'all for having me. I feel at home already. I'm trying to be as non-goofy as possible as I can.
Nah, people don't know how far back we go. It's like before I even thought about what else. Just went performing arts, doing music. Music was the last thing on my brain, and shoot, we connected. We always just ride through the car, bumping in the Voo. You know what I'm saying? Bumping old Gucci, bumping everything. So
that I-95.
Come on.
So icy boy, this one and two. Shout out to Mario with the winners in the show.
Oh my God. Shout out to my brother Mario. Yeah, so we always like to get started from the roots. You weren't born in Buffalo, but you've been here since you was a child. Where were you born?
So I was born in Rwanda. A lot of people don't know. Never got a chance to see it. You know, it was crazy out there. A lot of war. Traveled to Buffalo as a kid. My dad was in New Orleans when I was born. He was going to school out there. He went to Tulane. And then, so he wasn't around when I was born, but we ended up in Buffalo. before we moved to the east side, where, you know, I planted my feet.
Absolutely.
Right, east side, right on Rother, you know, Broadway, down the way, Rother, Sycamore, type of area.
Okay. Yeah, and it's funny because it was like growing up on the east side, it's mostly all black. Everybody lived in, you know what I'm saying? And then it was like, we met, what was that? I might have been 7th grade of grade school, hooping at Gloria J. Parks.
Yes, yep. Being little runts, yeah. 7th grade, that's right. So 6th grade, I had just moved up from downtown to North Buffalo. And yeah, that's when I'm coming outside. Started, came to Gloria J, really, you know, from going to school up north and across the street at the Joe's over there. And then that's how I got to know the J, started coming after school, you know, see some hoopers, you know what I mean?
He was getting busy.
Got familiar in the neighborhood. You know, that's around the time I met my compadre over there, you know what I mean? Shout out to Bambino. Y'all can't see him on the screen. Bambino, way from North Buffalo. Bam over here on the side, over here with me. But yeah, that's when I started really, like, you know, learning who I am or starting that journey, I guess, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
7th grade, yes sir.
Yep. So we linked up with each other every day. Then we went to college. You want to shout out to high school? That was a journey.
Yeah, shit, that was part of the journey. I ain't gonna lie. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, we went to shout out to Joe's. You know, that was an interesting time in my life. And shout out to Joel. You know, Scott. You know, couple members who was on that journey with me since we was little ones. You know, shout out to my man, Lil Chris. You know what I mean, Chris Dub. Ain't forget about you, man. But yeah, that was
Rest in peace, Bird.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Rest in peace, Bird, man. Yeah, that was a wild time. A lot of like unexplainable, crazy shit we was doing, but for the love of it, for the hype. What they call it? For the lore, for the story.
For the story, for the plot.
For the plot.
For the plot.
Bullshit for the plot. He's doing a lot of shit.
Every week.
Dressed up in a buttoned up loafers, yeah.
You know what I mean? My series. Don't let me bust out my series.
Man. Trying to get in on shit, man. Yeah, high school was a wild time, man.
That's just dope. When did music and the arts start taking over the basketball scene?
So boom, after I got injured at school, I was at Madai, and then my junior year, I got injured like the first day of basketball practice, and I hyperextended my hip, so that was crazy because I was on crutches and, you know, I couldn't move. And my mind really wasn't all there for school and stuff like that. So I was still trying to figure out what. So that situation put me in a little depression. I remember being in class, looking out the window, and I was like, y'all could be doing so much more out there. And I just walked out. I just walked out, and I ain't never come back. And that was the end of it. And then I went to my dorm. Then I hit my man Blair up, shout out Blair.
Shout out to Health Science.
Yeah, shout out to Health Science. And then we started this idea. We got some homies who we had some people who make music. We had some homegirls who wanted to model. We had some friends who, you know, mess with the camera. Shout out to Jamar and Conrad, CJ. And we was just like, you know what? Let's pool our resources together and let's make a little production company. Fuck it, you know? Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I walked out of school and I called them like, yo, I'm about to pull up. I got there and he was like filling out like LLC paperwork to get that LLC. So I was like, all right, we're in there. And then we started Blessed Artists. That was like 2014 maybe, yeah. 2013. Yeah, 2013.
Yeah, and it's so funny because it's like, growing up, it's like, it makes sense, but it's like back then it was just like, this nigga's smart. This nigga's smart. So he was like, wait, nigga, you didn't go back. Like, you just walked out the door and was like, yeah, nah, man, we done with that shit. So then shit, next thing you know, we talking about the music. So my brother was doing his music thing at the time too. And I had no idea anything music music business related. And like, that was almost like kind of my introduction to like seeing, oh shit, let's gather some people. We got friends who got these skills. Let's put us together and try to do something.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Honestly, I ain't have that mindset at the time either. I think what did it for me was not being alone. So like, not being alone was a good feeling for me. So as long as I could keep that, you know what I mean, that was like my driving force back then in that time. Because I ain't really had nothing else going on, really.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I didn't know enough myself to admit that and realize that at the time.
Yeah.
So, but that's what kept me going. Because like, I didn't know anything about this music business for real. But I was confident enough to know that I wanted to be around the homies and I wanted to be doing this shit. And I knew that we could make money off of it. That was, you know what I mean? Because in that time, 2013, 2015, it was a lot of movements kicking off. A lot of cliques, a lot of groups throughout the whole country that was like sparking off. So just me seeing little similarities of what we had going on, I'm like, you know what? It's a lane for us too. Like, I don't know what it is exactly or who exactly is in that picture lane, but it's because it's there.
But let's not miss the point. It's like you saying some of the homies, like we around some of these people. Them saying people that became the shack.
Oh yeah.
That's before it is got the house. You know what I'm saying? Like these are these people, so we're seeing the talent. Yeah. And we're just like, yo, we're just trying to literally figure it out.
Yeah, it's a fact. It's like we the talent, without knowing it, was already around itself, and it's almost like us being together was keeping it protected or taking care of it or keeping it where it needed to be as it's putting itself together.
Absolutely. Yeah, I remember back then I think it had to be 2013, 2014, but Chance, the rapper, just started popping. His joints is on Dat Piff. And it's like, if you had like 40, 50,000 views on Dat Piff, your joint was gold. Like, you get the little golden rim around it. One of Games mixtapes on there joint had crazy views. I'm like, wait, we tripping over Chance the Rapper. He got a couple, like, thousand, you know what I mean? Yeah. We got Games ready. His shit on there too going crazy. I'm like, wait, this is something booming. Yeah. I remember, it was like, I remember that because I was sitting in the house, we was on Whisper. Okay. And it was me, my brother, Billy Esco, and we was talking about Chance the Rapper, and we was going to Cleveland. We was going to Cleveland to go see like Kendrick Lamar, Black People.
Yes. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
We kicked it with our boy. We was back there with our boy. Yo, real quick though, I forgot a big chapter of this from when 7th grade, from like 7th grade to like 9th grade, 10th grade. This was a very important part in my life too with the music stuff. Before any of this was, I gotta give a shout out to my boy, Tony Boy, because Tony Boy, he was, when I was in 7th grade, he was booking people from like, industry performers to come perform so he could set up people opening up and whatnot. And Sound Lab, you feel me? FX Nightclub, you know what I mean? Broadway Joe's. Shout out Tony Boy. And the most important part for me was I was the little bro. I was the youngest one out the group. Everybody else was like already in 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th. I was in 7th grade. Someone used to come out his way to come pick me up. I didn't contribute shit at the time. I wasn't doing shit. Bro used to come pick me up every time, every show, every get-together, whatever. And that's the end where I kind of learned that idea of keeping people together, to be honest. For real. Because he used to definitely... Because FX Nightclub was like on Transit. On where? Dick Road, right? Yup. Fire as hell.
Yeah, fire as hell. Mm-hmm.
It's like 45 minutes from where we was staying by Shroom.
Felt like it.
Bro, come pick me up to go out there and take me back to the crib. So I appreciate that. And if it wasn't for that type of effort, I don't think I would care about people who hold things down behind the scenes like that, or me trying to be that part too for people who's around me. So yeah, I gotta get that. Because after that, I was also like, next thing I know, Tone had me on backstage with Mellow Hype at the waiting room one time. Had me backstage with Schoolboy Q at Sound Lab one time. And I didn't know who none of these people was.
Before it was anybody.
Before they was anybody, yeah.
It happens in contradiction, like it just dropped.
You feel me? I didn't know any of these people. I was just happy being little bruh in the mix, you feel me? So when I was back there with Mellow Hype backstage, Haji Beats, Left Eye, they up there rapping, I was parked in the back seat. In the parking lot in the back. I went to my car after the show, and it was, my door wasn't locked. So it was a big gallon of Henny, half empty, in the passenger on the floor. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I ain't come with this shit. Then this dude, Left Brain, comes smack on the hood. He's like, yo, drive home safe, bro. pointing at the fucking gallon. So just that experience was like, damn, I just had that in 8th, 9th grade. You feel me? Shout out to Tone. That's one reason why I was able to have that experience. So shit like that, I was able to appreciate, the sport, the art before becoming a competitor. You know what I mean?
Nah, that shit real, man. That shit bring back memories. Man. So when you started Blessed Artist, and from there you decided, instead of just gathering on people, I'm gonna participate.
Yeah, you know what? I got to a point where like start having all these ideas, and then like you get to a point where you got these ideas, you can't tell people, you can't expect other people to execute your ideas. So at some point it's like, nah, you're gonna try something, and you know what I mean? If you either like giving out, you either giving out ideas and you waiting for them to happen, and you like okay with the results, however they come, and then at some point you like decide, nah, I'm pretty sure what I want, how things should be, or what I'm trying to see. Ain't no room for questioning that right now. So let me just make space where I can start shaping that up without getting in the way of everything else that's happening. That's kind of how I got into making my shit, around my music. I remember it was a time, but I ain't gonna lie, I was definitely like, since it was times like in 5th grade, 6th grade, I was definitely writing, but I wasn't writing original. I remember one time like in 6th grade, I heard some fire-ass Bun B song on the radio. I can't remember what it was. I think it was Underground Kings or Three Kings or something. Went home, wrote his verse word for word. Came back to school, tried to rap it like it was my shit. And somebody called me up. I swear to God, I don't know what made me do that. But I liked that song so much, bro. Went home, wrote it word for word, no looking up lyrics. I'm listening and writing, pause, writing. Go back to school, I'm rapping it. He was like, yo, that's fucking Bum B. Like, fucking lying. I'm like, oh, what? No, what? Yeah, bro, yeah, dumb shit. So, and then after that, like, it was never on my mind to be like, yo, I'm gonna be a rapper. But it would be spurts where I'd be like curious, and I'll do some shit like that because I wanted to feel what the dude was rapping about, you know what I mean, on a different level, where I was just in the house bored and that's what I was doing, you know what I mean, whatever reasons. And then later on, like throughout, from like going through elementary school and high school, I started like, having my own original ideas, especially when me and B-Boy moved in together. Mm-hmm. That's when I really started writing. Like, that's like 2014, 2015. That's when I really started. I got a notebook, started writing, and like, you know what I mean? Like trying to rap. But I didn't tell nobody none of this. But I was writing to like, rest in peace, Mac Miller. What was his alter ego? Larry Fisherman. He had dropped the tape. I wrote like a whole project to that. So going off his beats, you know what I mean? Like as if I was featuring and shit. So that era, in that time, I was doing a lot of writing. I was making like a lot of room for myself in the space, the writing space. And that's when I really started getting comfortable with writing and making my own music.
Dope. now that you mentioned the Larry Fisherman type beats, that it's clicking because I always gonna ask the origin of like your cadencing and like your rhyme style.
Mm-hmm.
It gives me a little bit of like the Earl Sweatshirt vibe, and it's just like it's original. You know what I'm saying? It's original, and we live in a time now where it's like we talked about. Me and Love used to talk about this all the time. Does marketability does it conflict with originality? Because a lot of times people just like, yo, can I market this? Can I do this and with it? Versus, can I make something original, make it dope, and people like it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? People get lost in that creative process, and that's one thing I respect about your craft.
I appreciate
it. You don't allow, let's say, industry standards or industry norms to dictate your style and your originality.
I appreciate that. No, that's a fact. And I think like a lot of people that we was listening to in that time, especially when I first started writing, they was on the same type of, you know what I mean? So I think it was just like, it kind of just, what they was talking about, the fact that already resonated, it was like natural to fall in line in that way. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Word.
Yeah, it was Larry Fisherman, Heavy Earl Sweatshirt, you know what I mean? It's Ab-Soul, you already know. Mm-hmm. The Gucci was already in the print of the DNA at that point, you feel me? So the 808s was already like laying down the beat foundation. So this part was where I was really figuring out my message as me, you know what I mean? Who I am, what do I stand for in that era, writing in that time, you know what I mean? So
yeah, so and I remember the development of that. It was from JC to the AYAM. Even to the bag. Can you talk about the bag? And
for sure. Yep, real quick, just shameless plug. You know, I got a jacket to sell, you know what I mean? So feel free to tap in the website. But yeah, so Clan, shout out to Clan, another instrumental part of my life.
90C?
90C.
Come on.
Nelson's little cousins, all of our fams. We was on Custer. That was a 90, shout out 90C. Marble Red Sox did a freestyle on this joint. We was all in here deep. But yeah, we used to be on Custer heavy, packed out in the house. And one time, you know, we was just upstairs smoking. Another dark time, just not knowing what I'm about to do in my life. This was probably like a year or 2, 3 after Blessed Artist was gone. Blessed Artist was kind of, you know, was really Blair's baby, you know what I mean? I was just facilitating, which was cool. So I was still trying to really figure out how do I fit in society? What do I do? So I was just up there, I ain't gonna lie. I was thinking about Dragon Ball Z, because Dragon Ball Z was my favorite cartoon. So I came up with this bag. The bag is like the sensu bean bag, if anybody peeped. It's really the sensu bean bag opened up, like sitting out. So anybody really don't know sensu beans, they got the, you know, you eat them, you get right back. If you know, you know. So I got the sensu bean bag, and I'm like, so what do I put in there that represent me? So, you know, being true to myself, I know that I'm into knowledge, learning, wisdom. So I had the books and the papers. I drew that by hand, everything I drew by hand. And then I also knew that I liked to smoke. So I had, you know, the bottle and drink, you feel me? So I had the bottle and the baggie in there. And then I also had the pencils in there because, you know, I was drawing this shit at the time, and I was a believer in you can make your life, create your life. So I put all that in that sensu bag, which is like my recovery beans. And then I put AYAM on the bag because this not exclusive to me. This is like everybody go learn wisdom in life, and everybody got their vices. You know, everybody got something bad that they do, whether they know it or not. It's a balance. That's what makes us great. You know what I mean? So understanding that, I put AYAM so that it could be like anybody who knows they is and they exist, or who can think for themselves and got that voice in their head. Everybody says I am about to do something. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So it was like a way for everybody to connect to something that was valid that we could all relate to. And that's what this was for. And that's where I found like, okay, this represents me. I'm still figuring myself out, but for now, this is a good, like, balanced representation of me. It's not too extreme to where I gotta be like, oh, nah, I renege. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or it's not too quiet where it's like, hold on, let me add, you know what I mean? So That was in like 2016 is when I drew this. I still got the paper and everything. I drew it, colored it, then got it, scanned it, and shout out to Conrad. He got it vectored for me. That's how first time I learned what vectored means. Just taking some shit off the drawing paper and making it look digital. So he did that for me, and I sent that shit to the incorporation office just to copyright it and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 2016, and then yeah, after that I just put it on a t-shirt and sat to the side. Gave the t-shirt to True. True, he was like the first person to put the t-shirt on and take a picture of it. Didn't ask him to. He put it on there, took a picture of it, posted it, and mad people just like started gravitating to it naturally. Right. And it was a hot pink color too, so that was like
around a couple of them.
You feel me? Around that time, like neon hot colors was like popping. Neon. That's when slime. We was using heavy on the slime green, neon green shit. The fluorescent joints. Yep. Damn though. Yep. So yeah, that was that story right there. Custer, and then literally the shack had moved to the street Merrimack, right? Yeah. It was on Merrimack, right the street over. So carried the logo right over after I made the tees. You know what I mean? And then yeah, naturally, I didn't have really nothing else that I was proud to put out yet, like music or nothing like that. So I was good just pushing this, and that's when people started getting to know me as, I guess.
Dope. Yeah, dope. And let's jump into your most recent EP, Bredhead.
Yes, sir. Bredhead EP.
Yeah. First off, where can they find it? And it's like, what is Bredhead? What do you mean?
Okay. So Bredhead EP, available on all platforms. So that means Spotify, Apple, all that. But also on the website, AYAMJC.com. IAMJC.com. You hit the tab, go to Out Now, you're going to see it. Go to shop, get you some merch. The project, so it's basically like a story about me. It's a story about a person who's a little cocky, ambitious, got a chip on his shoulder, going out there to claim things, especially money, with intentions of giving it back to, where, in places where it's needed, or to do something with it, rather than just to get it, to have it and say, he got it. So that's what the project is, a story about somebody going through that experience in 3 songs. You know what I mean? So the first one is Rich. Off the rip, I'm just making a statement. Very affirmation and confident song. You feel me? So off the rip. Very proud. But when you see the video, which is coming out next in May, real soon, stay tuned. I gotta look, got a sneak peek for everybody here. But you're going to see that, the rich and the wealth talked about in the song is not really finance or money. It's really the people around me. You know what I mean? Everybody in that video was what is the wealth that I'm talking about in Rich. And it's, also in the project. You know what I mean? So at the same time, too, it's like my strength, what keep me going, my driving factors, my motivating factors, the things that pick me up when I'm down is people like him. Bam, it's you. You know what I mean? Everybody else who helped me get to where I am in life and who helped me become who I am today in life. So that's how we sparked it off, the Bredhead EP, Rich. And then we go into Big Dawg, which is me again just talking about how I'm ready, put myself in position to get big money. Not to just have it, but because I'm ready and I know what I would do with it and what to do with it if I was to get that right now today.
Right. And
so that's what Big Dawg's about. Give me that Big Dawg bag. I'm ready for it. And then I finish it off with I Like It. I Like It is really the deeper side of me where I'm talking about literally being about drive, how it's a habit, I'm a go-getter, I can't fight it, and I do it for the ones I love. So in that case, money I want and I like it. Oh well. You know what I mean? That's what it is. So yeah, that's what the song is about. That's what the project is about. It's like a confident, braggadocious Robin Hood giving back to his people, going out to get it proudly to give it back
That's fire.
where it came from. Yeah.
Nah, that's dope as hell. And you mentioned this, just like the rich and the wealth is coming from the people that's around you. You also forming like a collective?
Yeah, you know what's crazy? I'm not even saying I'm forming one, but the way I'm looking around, I figured I might as well refer to it as that. So much stuff been happening the past like 4 or 5 months. That's good, and that's building on top of each other. Almost like, you know, so much has happened that's building on top of each other. But I'm not the only person contributing to this. You know what I mean? Bam has contributed a lot to this. My man Jake contributed a lot to this. Nico, Brandon, Zai, a lot of these people who have, you know, contributed to the good stuff that's happening in my life, but also in their life. You know, it's like stuff that we sharing that's been put there that we all contributing to different areas without like anything more else than that. So it's like, and then so as a result, because it's like that, we got the opportunity to call it a collective if we want to, you know what I mean? And there's no name, you know, there's no, you know what I mean? It's really just about the whole idea when we get together, it's like, oh, people come in knowing, what do I have going on? This is what I'm bringing to the table, and this is what my part in this right now, and this is why, this is the end goal that I'm trying to get to, and coincidentally, these people got the same type of end goal. So it just happened to be like that, you know what I mean? So I just started calling it a collective only because when I start telling people about how I'm getting help from people people who care about me and who I care about, and the stuff that we doing, it's hard to just explain it without referring to it as a group. You know what I mean? Because otherwise I gotta name 15 people and explain what they all do. You know what I mean? Which I don't have no problem doing, but you know, for them elevator pitches, this is quicker to call it a collective.
That makes sense. Yeah. And I had the pleasure, you sent over some unreleased stuff. That ain't looking fire, you know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that. Yeah, we got some stuff we cooking up. So like I said, a large part of the collective I'm gonna see in a rich music video. But also, you know, it's specific people in the collective that's helping me with a close project of mine. It's this little idea initiative that we've been doing for the past year in Buffalo, where we giving out free turkey sandwiches. You know what I mean? So every time we used to be at the spot, that's all we used to eat. You know, go to the store next door, get some turkey sandwiches, and get some, you know, turkey and cheese and some sandwiches, and that got us through. You know? So we kind of started doing the same thing because, you know, we live in Buffalo and we all know or seen somebody who's in a position that's less fortunate than us. A lot of those positions, people have a hard time getting food.
Food deserts around the city.
You feel me? Like, even if you take out Tops, you know, there's no grocery store on the east side. You know what I mean? You go downtown, Bray Miller's, you take that out, the next closest store is
out.
Yeah. You feel me? And they've been closed. They came, stole money from the city, didn't pay, and said they was gonna pay it back. And they still driving around with the van around. I just seen the van.
That's not the nonprofit joint, is it?
That's the nonprofit. Bray Miller's Market, next to the library. Downtown Buffalo, next to the library.
Where all the homeless people
Yeah, where all the homeless people hang out. They didn't pay back y'all loan.
And left.
All right.
Get them together.
Bray Miller's Market. Yeah, man. So shit like that, man. Just knowing shit like that, that's one reason we, you know, so people in the collective, including Bam, who is the treasurer of the organization, we turn it into a nonprofit and we looking to scale up responsibly, you feel me? So we gave out like 200, 250 sandwiches since last year, and zip codes like 14218, 219, 112. This is like 5 or 6. I can't remember off the top. And yeah, so now we're looking to, you know, just scale up responsibly. We turn into a nonprofit, and we just give out, you know, free turkey sandwiches. We started off driving around, you know, seeing people in certain areas, especially downtown, who, you know, just could use some food, so we got them right. And now we partnering up with the Response to Love Center, which is on Old Street, right off of Broadway on Raleigh, where I used to live. And we also partnering up with the Fruit Belt Coalition. We've been helping out, working with some people over there. And we just got partnered up with the Homeless Alliance of Western New York.
Right.
So we about to be working with them organizations to get some turkey sandwiches to the people who need it over there. And yeah, so we trying to scale up. We about to turn into a nonprofit, and that's the collective that's helping move that forward. You know, the same way we helping move the underground music scene in Buffalo forward professionally as independent professionals, you know, business professionals.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Nah, and it's dope. It's dope just because, shit, I remember when we ain't think about nothing but hooping and finding the next party. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like really showing the growth of, nah, this is what life progresses you towards. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of we got a lot of younger viewers who don't know what they want to do and they have no clue. But it's like there is a progression in life. You know what I'm saying? We can go from riding around, smoking bullshit and listening to Gucci,
hanging out the window, like,
to the progression of like, yo, I got an idea, to now we implementing that idea, we impacting the people around us, and we building that community. We being the people that we wanted to see as we grew, when we was growing up. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
I'm absolutely proud of you for that.
I appreciate that. Thank you, bro.
Just part of the story, bro.
I appreciate that, bro. Thank you. Yeah, bro. I'm thankful too, because, you know, I don't feel like I had, you know, I'm thankful. I still feel like this is the same blur. Like, you know, this is the continuation from 2016, 2013. I don't feel like I'm thankful that I don't feel like there was a gap where I had to stop and recalibrate and figure out something. For me, I'm blessed to say this has been a consistent, fluid, you know, movement journey to this point. So it all still seemed like the same point to me. Like 2016, Blessed Artist was just yesterday, no gaps in between. So I'm thankful for that feeling, because that also, like, the people who was there all also have been, also still is there. So ain't nothing changed. The same way that space still feel the same, it's probably because it's filled with the same people still. You know what I mean? So I'm thankful for that. And yeah, like I said, a lot of people help me out, are part of the collective, but also help me out with the nonprofit community initiative we have, like BAM being the treasurer, Brandon Dante is also the director, Nico Suave Neek is the director, my homegirl, Good Sister Zai, she's been helping out a lot and is the director of marketing for the organization. So we got some content coming up, some aware. We're gonna be creating a lot of awareness, you know, in the time this summer on that community side, but also on the music side for sure. A lot of good things coming up on both sides for sure.
Right.
For sure.
So I seen that you kind of tapped in and done some work with some people in Toronto, right?
Yes, I did. Yes,
so how did you get locked in and tapped in with those people out there, and just give them a shout out too if you want to?
Oh yeah, that's a great question. You know, it's funny. You know, shout out to the people in Toronto. How did I get tapped in? So I was at the Shack one time, and then there was this dude in Buffalo who was shooting who was doing camera work. Hit me up like, yo, I got somebody from Toronto who hit me up, said they seen your video and they like your song, they want to do a collab with you. And I was like, okay, let me tap in. Just me being, you know, liking the sport. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, let's do it. Got connected with bro. His name was Richland, Toronto, and we started cooking up some work, right? So sent him over a feature. He liked the feature, put on the song. Then he sent me like 3 other open verses. Next thing you know, we had like a tape called Buffalo to Toronto. But that was cool. After doing that, started getting to know, being out there, went out there to record some joints, went out there with Gaines. I took Gaines out there, some of the homies from the Shack. We went and did some work with, a producer out there in Toronto while I was also working on that project. So we were still building the bridge between Buffalo and Toronto with that. That was probably like year 2. And then, so we kept doing that, built the habit of going across the borders, and we built a relationship. We started making mad songs together, and the next thing you know, it just became real cool, you know what I mean? And that's how things got there.
No, that's dope.
Yeah.
Because we've done like a couple episodes with some people out there, a couple interviews, so that's a scene that we've like been tapped into and trying to tap into more, like whenever we get more time to just go out there.
Yeah. Shit. I got my boy P out there. I could, I got definitely open book resources, network. I could set up, you know what I mean? Y'all boys, my bros coming in town. Can y'all, you know what I mean? Can they meet you at and you know what I mean?
Yeah, we can make that happen after this.
Say that. That's a bet.
All right, so going for the top 5, it's not like the prototypical top 5, right? So if you have to build a hip hop artist, let's just think of 5 qualities.
Yeah.
Take a quality from each rapper you think of to build like your Voltron of a hip hop artist. That's a good one, Ted. Damn.
Hold on, man. Hold on.
So boom, we got lyricism, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got stage presence.
Beat selection,
Air for
stage
beats.
presence, lyricism, melodies, shit, swag.
Aura, yeah.
Alright. Damn. Wow. Alright.
And then you gotta do one too.
That's easy.
Kendrick.
Gucci, Absol, Jay-Z,
Mike.
Murder. Oh, Gucci Mane, Absol, Jay-Z, Uncle Murder.
Also think of the qualities you from those rappers too.
That's it.
I think the last one I probably had to throw myself in there, bro. I probably had to be the last piece in there just because I don't know anybody else who was gonna say the little things I'm gonna say, you know what I mean? But the other 4, I'm good. I like Gucci because of the beat selection, stupid. Jay-Z because of the business mind. Absol, come on. This nigga flipped the alphabet around 16 million times and no one noticed. And Uncle Murder because the relevancy. The current, the skill to always just rap like a newscaster. You know what I mean? And then be on point with the information, accurate. I always respect that. I appreciate that. So off the top, in this heat of the moment, and then myself, just just to be safe, because if I ever gotta own up to some shit, it was me, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, just to be safe, that's the 5 right there.
I like that.
That's some good shit. I ain't gonna lie, I broke a sweat. I was gonna ask Ben for some advice, man. Like shit. What you got there with it, man?
I'm going.
Pass on the mic.
Kids for the lyricism.
Whoa.
Cam for the aura.
Okay.
Okay.
This is gonna be a crazy take, but I'm going Shawnee Bin Laden for the beat selection though. Wow, with the samples. Then, dang, I got one more. Hold on, 1, 2, 3.
I got 2 more.
Hove too for the Hove. I'm pro Hove, business mind, wittiness, just just the mind of Hove. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then the mystique of my boy Styles P.
Come on,
Ghost. Nah, that's my guy.
That's my top 5 right there.
I'm gonna go beat selections. Beat selections, I'm going with Ross.
Okay.
That's I like that.
Come in, yeah.
I like that.
Come in.
Yeah.
I like that.
Thinking melodies, I'm going with the melodic melodies of Future.
Okay.
Thinking I'm thinking like impact. I'm thinking impact of like and just like cultural like Nipsey. Okay. Yeah, Business Mind, all of that.
I knew where that was going.
I'm thinking. Ooh, I'll go with. Okay, I'm gonna go with the lyricism of a Lupe. Lyricism of a Lupe, because he can do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just depending on what way you want to go. You know what I'm saying? And then I got one more. That's tough. That's tough, bro. That last one is a killer.
That's right, bro.
That last one is a killer, so I got these ones. Damn, I do not know.
I ain't gonna lie, that Ross, Lupe, Future combo is crazy. I'm trying to picture an artist like that is woo. Damn, that's
Yeah, and then who else? What am I listening to? For real, I think I'm gonna go. Nah, that's kind of. It's not cliche. I'm gonna think because I'm thinking global. I'm trying to think who I'm gonna. Ooh, Order of 50.
or a 50.
Just to take it there like unapologetic with everything that's combined with them people. That's I'm going.
You just put me on. I gotta check them out. Or a 50. That's
50 Cent.
50 Cent.
Yeah, the aura of 50, yeah.
Aura of 50 Cent.
Or a 50. Yeah, bro. I thought you just named. I said Aura. The Aura 50. Or
I gotta check them out. I'm like, you ain't never heard
Papers like trying.
Did you want to throw yours in there, Johnny?
Oh, yeah, fuck it. So, boom. Aura, I got Pluto.
Come on.
Beat selection, I'm going to go with Cam for beat selection.
Okay.
If you just think about the Dipset era and then even before that,
Okay.
I'm going with Cam. Lyricism, I'm going with... Lyricism, I'm going with Nas.
Ooh,
Fire.
What's the other two?
It's kind of like whatever.
Business Mind, all right. I'll go Business Mind. I'm going to go with Nipsey because I need to throw Nipsey in there, period. And I picked Future for Aura. Nipsey would have been like my presence or Aura. So I'm going to throw Nipsey for just like Business Mind and presence.
Facts. Definitely had the $100 take, bro. That's
Smart Store.
On Bitcoin in 2016.
Literally.
levels.
And then lastly, let's see. For, I'm going to say credibility. And realist, I'm going to go with Herb.
Okay.
Unexpected.
Herbo.
Yeah,
Unexpected, bro. Damn, yo. Funny story about Herbo. I just went to my man's, this dude, I just went to, what fuck am I saying, right? Yo, so I went to this dude. That bro be in there like, he said he be in there like, every day some new shit.
Cut that.
Come back like 5 minutes later, beefing with my bitch.
Nah, that's how they say DMX used to go.
What?
Yeah.
Bro, but it was so, when he told me,
Old Dirty, that's what I'm thinking.
Bro, so I'm laughing while he telling me this shit. But he's like, yo, bro, but it's because I realized, and he was breaking the shit down to me, it's because they creative system, they got the luxury to have a whole opposite creative system than we do. Like, it's literally the opposite world, literally, because it's like we do what we can with the resources we have, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with the limited resources, we plan to get as much done in the littlest time as possible. Them motherfuckers got infinite resources, so they could fucking take as much time
as they need.
So the dude said, because the engineer was telling, he'd be out in Cali working with them in Vegas, and he said, yo, book like a week studio session. First 6 days is just to listen to beats. Last day, niggas want to record. Whereas us, we gotta come in with the shit already written, know how you gonna deliver, and you got 15 minutes to, you know what I mean? So that was like introduction to like a whole other world. I'm like, oh shit, I stepped into a different room right now. Like, so that's a funny story about her. I'm like,
we also
good pick though. Good pick.
Nah, that's my guy.
Yeah, we also got the third eye segment. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You already know what time it is.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You doing 8, 9 grams? How many we doing?
We can go there.
Just know you know. Grams of sugar.
on my journey of this learning information, this man was there from like day one. You know what I'm saying? So like these is conversations, all the conversations that I've done had up here, Third Eye Segment, me and him have had these conversations in 2011,
Yes, sir.
2012.
In multiple dimensions.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, so boom, can you, from your perspective,
Yes, sir.
tell me your introduction to like knowledge and like Third Eye.
You know where we was at.
From your perspective.
Alright, man. Woo. Where do I even start, bruh? I ain't gonna lie. You know what? I'm gonna start exactly where it started. I'm sitting on Windspear with our host Nelson here, his brother. Shout out my boy Gino, aka the real B-boy,
the original B-boy.
The original B-boy. So boom, sitting in the crib. I can't remember if it was a call or text, bruh. But Nelson hit me with the pineal gland. You know what a pineal gland is? I'm like, what the fuck is you talking? What is a pineal? Send me the link to the joint. It was all a dream. I swear it never happened. Yo, bro, it's captivating. So that was the beginning. Niggas started looking up, like, what's pineal gland? Niggas looking up pineal gland, decalcifying. Then, that shit opened up science that we ain't never thought about. You know what I mean? So after that, it was like, what is pineal gland? Then it was like, what are we? So we started I started like getting, after Nelson introduced me to pineal gland, then I guess the conversation went to ether, or what spirituality could be compared to if you compare it to something material, right? So it was like that's where our darkness jokes really come.
That 90s.
You know what I mean? But also the 9 ether, stories about the 9 ether, which is just basically, and it's it could be compared to the 9 essential amino acids, or the essential elements that require to full optimum function of human operations. And so just really it was like, the introduction to those worlds, and then exploring them worlds and like understanding how to define shit that we couldn't see or touch.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we started defining and getting definitions for shit that we was experiencing that we couldn't see and touch. That's when like shit started getting real as far as the third eye journey.
Absolutely.
And we started experiencing things we was talking about, or recognizing it, because now we could identify what it is, you know what I mean? And, next thing you know, like 90C, the clan, the group, named right after that, 90th clan. So great community support all my brothers, we was going through that shit, learning everything together in that room. Same building where the logo, where all this, you know, the space where all this shit was kind of conceived. And that came with just research, wanting to learn more, wanting to understand more. And then we started learning more about ourselves, our hair, our skin, where we from, before it was, you know, how we are made in the womb. So that mystery third eye situation led into real math and science. Up until like where I was teaching, you know, looking up about atoms last summer. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So shout out to the third eye. That's how my journey into the third eye world, esoteric, the spiritual world. That's where it was open. Shout out to my guy over here. You know what I mean? My boy came.
Somebody helped me. I just did the same. You know what I mean?
You feel me? So it's a blessing. It was a blessing. Just like this, you know, music stuff, this community stuff, it was a blessing to have people that could understand, you know, the ups and downs you're going through, especially when it's like, you know, the rest of the world don't. So
yeah, don't have a clue.
Yeah,
and it's so funny because it's like we used to be at the crib, literally just trying to describe just like what is happening. You know what I'm saying? And shit, we thinking the same thing. Like when people talk about telepathy, TP. Like,
TP.
Because we walk in the house, start a conversation, like, yo, I was literally just thinking about that an hour ago, bro. Like,
and actually I used to be.
It used to happen so much where it was just like, yo, like you can't make this shit up.
So natural. I used to be geeked off that shit. Like any minute I have a new idea, I'd be like, yo, bro. Start grabbing this man's shirt to the point where his brother used to be like, yo, bro, don't bust. Like, shit, bro. You remember that? He's on the couch. He's like, yo, bro, chill. I was like, oh, some shit had clicked for me in my head. I was like, oh, shit, yo, bro. He's like, bro.
Yo, we used to be in the house. We used to be in the house and literally just be talking, just like talking about fucking everything, bro. But to the point where it'd be like, yo, turn the TV on, just put the shit on mute. So motherfucker walk in here, they be like, what the fuck is y'all doing? We've been sitting in the room, literally just talking. Just about fucking third eye, anything, spirituality.
Yo, but we used to have some funny ass times too, though. I'm just saying this one thing, leave it at that. I never forget when people had brought out the unforgettable, the first YouTube, funniest YouTube trolling skit, bro. I ain't gonna lie, we used to have a lot of times talking about the spirituality, but we used to be in there rolling, acting a fool too,
bro.
For sure.
I'll never forget. we was on one spirit, bro. We sitting in the spot, and I normally just let me hit the TV, let the shit play. It's bowling. And we like, yo, these niggas going hard. Like, yo, these niggas like, this nigga's sweating, this nigga walking in the camera. Well, this is live. It's live. So I'm like, let's unmute this, yo. This nigga's wilding. This nigga bowled his last strike. Who do you think you are? I am. Nigga, we're crying. Like, the viral meme joint, we're watching this shit live. Like,
so that nigga was, he said, yeah, what? He's just rolling on TV. He like, what? We like, yo, look at the what?
Turn.
Yeah.
Turn.
He like, then he finished it off. He said, yeah, I did it. Who do you think you are? I am.
That's what I always do.
Niggas was like, what?
Yo, we're on the ground crying, laughing, like, yo, what the fuck did we just watch? This before Instagram got videos and shit. You feel like, yo, hilarious,
shit.
bro. Hilarious, bro. Too many good times, man.
Yo,
please
tell me I still, bro. I had to picture this shit. I don't have it nowhere, bro. I was about to hold it right. Good times, bro.
We're last part of the third eye segment.
Yes.
If you're interested to talk about like how did your introduction to like psychedelic mushrooms, how did that change your view and just what kind of impact? I know you're big on the microdosing. So.
Absolutely. So boom, my first experience with shrooms, I wasn't prepared. Didn't get no forewarning, and I just got through in the mix. So big donkey joint, and I remember because it fit in the whole potato. Because boys made me eat it with a potato. So I remember it was a chunky joint because they split the potato in half, put the shit in like a sandwich, told me to eat the potato. Ate the shit, ate the whole shit, ate the whole joint, and bro, I went meanest trip, bro. Couldn't get out. Long story short, it was bad. It was bad. But then when I got, it was so bad, yo. I did it by Buff State. After I did it, shit started kicking in. I'm pulling out, about to go home from where I was at, my man's crib. I get to the stop sign on Forest. The cars is parked along Forest, like, you know, on the side, on the street. So you gotta really like figure out how to see if the cars is coming, you know what I mean? So you don't really get hit. So I'm itching out, I gotta make a left. So the cars, I gotta really look.
Yeah.
Bro, I couldn't do it, bro. I was tripping so bad. I get to the intersection, look a little bit, anxiety to take over. I'm like, nah, I'm making a right. Bro, I lapped the block like 3 times before I had enough courage to make that left. Like, yo, bro.
Because I'm picturing that shit too, because I know how that shit is right there too.
God, bro. Then I get to, so it's Reese. I'm coming up Reese, right? Mm-hmm. Get to Forest. You know, you got the court to the right. You got the court to the right. Get to Forest. Gotta make a left. So I'm lapping. Finally, I make the left. All right, boom. Then I gotta make a left on Elmwood off of Forest. So I gotta get to the light. So I get to the light. I'm starting to turn. I'm looking at it. It turns like red. I'm still under. In the middle, it turns red. I hear cars beeping. I'm like, oh, bro, I'm in the middle of the intersection looking at the light while it was turning yellow to red as I was supposed to make a left. So I'm like turning, I'm looking, stop. I'm stuck right here, cars I swear to God, bro. I say, nah, I'm out here, bro. Let me get the fuck home, bro. So that was my first time, bro. That was my first. I got home. I remember exactly how I got home, went to my room, laid down. I took out this piece of paper and started drawing the infinity sign. I'm like, yeah. This shit don't stop. That's all I can do. All I could do was draw. I was trying to describe what just happened. I just drew the infinity sign over like this. Man, it started ripping through the paper, all that, bro. And I wrote, you asked for it, this is what you got. That's what I wrote on the paper.
That's real shit.
That's what I wrote on the paper.
That's real shit.
So that was my first experience. It turned me off. I was not fucking with it. But then, over time, I got curious again. And this time, that's where my microdoses started coming in. So that's when I started like pacing myself. I'll take a little bit at a time. And when I started doing that, I would, go through regular life. But then like I'll have, experiences where like, oh, this wavy, or like, you know what I mean? I started seeing stuff a little, like I'm on that level, but not all the way because I'm microdosing. So seeing that in real time with regular life still going on, just like always had my mind open, like, oh, you know what I mean? What if that's really what's going on? You know what I mean? What if the table really wavy? You know, I don't know, but that's when you get into them conversations, and if you know, you know. You know
Absolutely.
What I mean?
Absolutely.
So that was my next level after, of experiencing that after the first time, and I started appreciating more, and then going along with the knowledge we was getting at the time, everything coming together, they all complement each other, you know what I mean? And still is to this day. And now to this day, like, shrooms, I'm learning more and more about mushrooms. Shout out to mushrooms. Shout out to mycelium network, because buddy, he pieced it all together for me.
Come on.
You know what I mean? And it was like the fact that shrooms is like the fruit of that. You know what I mean? The same way it's like the apple come off the tree, the shrooms come off the mycelium. It's a beautiful thing, man. So if you know, you know.
Definitely worth some research.
Man. And when you know how to compare like Earth or things on the planet to your life, you'll get a lot of answers by looking at shit like that.
Find those comparisons, those synchronicities. it'll all line up.
Oh,
And mushrooms helps tie all that in.
Yep.
So you gotta think that's like the internet of the planet.
The end of the planet. Yo.
Literally the internet of the planet.
Okay.
Shit, galaxy if you really want to go there, but
It's
let's start somewhere that's tangible.
That's a fact. That's a very knowledgeable man right here, man. If you ever want, this is a good guide. You know, not to say, you know,
Just
good guy. Not too much info if you know you know.
regular
You know what I
guy.
mean? But yeah, shout out to the Shrooms though. Yeah, I highly, don't get me wrong, too much of anything is never good for anybody. But if you get a chance to, you know, spend some time by yourself, spend some time by yourself. That's it. That's it.
Is there any other last questions I wanted to know? Let's just do a quick joint. Tell us about the website. Tell us about everything you got coming.
Oh yeah, okay, boom, boom, boom. A quick rundown. All right, Rich music video coming next. Stay tuned. We got a couple potential announcements coming up soon. We got some stuff in the works with some potential, you know, distribution situations and publishing situations. You know, some people from California have shown interest. And me being a business person, you know, I made sure to read, make sure I know bullshit.
Right.
So it's looking, you know, it's looking pretty promising, pretty good. The talks is good right now. We gonna see how the actions match up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna help, you know, not just what I got going on, but also push everything that we got going on as a group. So with that being said, look out for the Rich video coming out soon. Probably gonna be in May, next month in May. And then also, you guys already know about the Free Sammy. We're gonna be doing a community outreach event. So stay looking out for that. We're just gonna be outside giving out some turkeys to some people in the community. Feel free to come up, say what up. If you know anybody who might need some help, you can sign them up and we can set up arrangements for them. So look out for that too. And then also, Chop featuring Brandon Dante. Me and Brandon Dante, we got a lot of work coming. We got a project coming out. It's called JB. It's called Still Approved. That's the continuation from our first project together called JB Approved. JB is one of our homies that we got, who also helps out with some of the business side of the stuff, and he's part of the collective too. Which I can find JB Approved on all streaming platforms right now. Still Approved, which is part 2 project to that. Me and Brandon is going to be coming out later towards the end of this year. So look out for that. That's me and Brandon Dante. And then got a Cypher song coming up. We got a video we shooting next week. Y'all just more than welcome to pull up. A Cypher track produced by Wizard the Wizard, one of the staple producers in Buffalo. And it's going to be featuring myself, featuring Audi 3K, Suave Neek, and Brandon Dante as well. So that's about to be a very fun video. The track is, I have it here right now, but you know, they gonna play it for y'all. So,
Yeah, they'll get it in due time.
And then in due time, right? And then yeah, so that's gonna be real fun. That's gonna be coming out as soon as we shoot the video. That's probably gonna be coming out next after Rich. So yeah, we got a couple of things cooking up. I'm working heavily with Brandon Dante on the music side. Shout out to my brother Brandon Dante, Suave Neek as well. And then shout out to my brother Bam Bino right there again, who's helping me out with not just the music shit, but also the community shit. This is my right here. And also the treasurer of the nonprofit Free Sammy. So yeah, that's so look out for all those things coming up. Check out the social medias. AYAM JC music page. That's AYAM JC music page. AYAM JC music page. And also check me out on YouTube. Same thing. AYAM JC. Twitter. Brenjoy JC. Website ayamjc.com. Go ahead and check it out. Subscribe to the newsletter. You want to come hang out? You could be stepping at the video. We doing some community exercise stuff, something called CAP, Calisthenics at the Park. You want to get involved, get your fitness on. We're going to be at the park doing pull-ups and sit-ups, get involved. And then we got the official underground Buffalo hip-hop Spotify channel. Definitely check that out on Spotify, the playlist. You can find one of your favorite independent Buffalo professional musicians on there and support them. So that's what we got going on.
Nah, that's fire. Man, that's all I got for right now. Man, we appreciate you. You know what I mean, my brother. Man, there's no label, man. We out of here.
It's no label.
Peace.
It's no label.
Fully independent.
Fully independent.
Yes, sir.